YouTube, how's it going? Nate321 back again with a long overdue pickups video for you. And I'll be honest, the reason I haven't made one in a while is just I haven't been picking things up that much lately. And I feel like I've been saying that a lot, but I mean, it's the truth. My Goodwills are just completely dry. As far as retro games go, I only got one here to show you, and I haven't seen much at all. Anything I've seen has been in pretty bad condition, or it's stuff I already have, stuff I'm not interested in. So, I mean, I'm not going to buy stuff just to buy it. I mean, that's not the kind of collector I am, really. So, I just haven't found a whole lot. You know, it's a little frustrating, but it's kind of how it goes, I guess. But in turn, because of that, I haven't been finding a lot of retro stuff. I've been looking at a lot more new stuff because, you know, when I was focused more on the retro, I kind of overlooked the new stuff and said, you know, I'll get to that game when it gets cheaper, or I'll, you know, try that out at some other point in the future. So I have a nice backlog of games I wanted to try for a long time here. And so I'm finally able to catch up with those because they are cheaper, a little easier to find, that kind of thing. So I have 5 new games, or this generation games, they're not necessarily new, games to show you here, and then 1 retro game. So we'll start with the retro one first. Showed this in my Mortal Kombat 3 bootleg video I did a while ago. And it's Batman Returns on the Super Nintendo. Very cool beat 'em up game in the similar vein as like Final Fight. So if you're a fan of those games, I definitely recommend trying this out. Plays really well, really easy to control. You know, great looking graphics too. Really neat style, kind of reminiscent of the Batman Returns movie. Very kind of dark and you know, interesting kind of Tim Burton-esque art style to it. Definitely better in the Genesis version. Don't pick up the Genesis version. I mean, you can if you want, I guess, but personally, I really don't like it at all. It's more of a kind of platforming game, and it just controls really awkward, and it's not as good as this by far. So, I mean, if you have a choice, go with the Super Nintendo. It's relatively cheap. I got it for $2, so I'm sure you can find it for less than $5. It's pretty easy to come by. Not too expensive, so definitely recommend it. And now, that's the retro pickups, so on to the modern pickups. I have 5 games to show you. First of which you've already seen, Halo Reach. Got this at midnight on launch day, kind of on a whim. I think I was going to buy it that week anyway, but I figured, you know, what the heck, I was bored that night, so I was like, I'll go out and get it. And it's a pretty cool game. You know, I beat the campaign relatively fast. It's, you know, to me, it feels like the same campaign as all the other Halo games. It's a lot of kind of techno stuff that goes way over my head, a lot of terminology and stuff I don't even pay attention to. And then besides that, it's really just, you know, blast a million guys here, walk to point B, blast a million guys there, walk to point C, etc., etc. But that being said, you know, it's a tried and true kind of first-person shooter style. It seems like every FPS I play has that, so I'm not saying I expected more, but, you know, whatever. But outside of that, the graphics look really nice. The cutscene graphics and animations look really good. Gameplay, graphics look pretty good. Definitely a step up from Halo 3, you can tell. The music's fantastic. I love the music in this game. Really well done. Multiplayer, obviously, is where I spent most of my time, where most of you will probably spend most of your time. It's fun. It's Halo multiplayer. You know, not much has changed, at least in my opinion. That's not necessarily a bad thing either. You know, I enjoyed Halo 3's multiplayer, but I think I jumped into it a little late in the game, so I was way behind and I sucked terribly at it. This one I can keep up with it a little better. You know, I can fare pretty well in death matches and things like that. There's a decent variety of gameplay modes you can do. You can do firefight online if that's your thing, or you can do standard deathmatch, capture the flag. You can do big matches with vehicles. Like Team SWAT is a kind of more realistic, we'll say, mode where there's no shield. You know, it's like pretty much one-shot, headshot kill. Interesting stuff, really fun. Haven't played it much lately because I have another 360 game I've been playing, but you know, off and on, a couple times a week I enjoy playing this online, so very cool game. If you got a 360, you know, it's one of those exclusives you should probably buy, just because a lot of people are playing it, you know. Most likely you got friends playing it right now. Very fun game, you know, enjoyable, cool game. Halo's always a good competitive experience, I think, so I like it. This next one, when I got Halo Reach, I got a $20 gift card from Best Buy. I think they were giving it out that week, I guess. Yeah, that whole week they were giving $20 gift cards if you bought Halo. So with the $20 gift card, I bought DJ Hero. It was marked down to $40. So with the gift card, got it for 20. Price is going down really fast for this. I think partially because it didn't sell well, and obviously the second one's coming out, so stores are kind of trying to push it out the door as much as they can. So keep an eye out for this if you were hesitant to pick it up in the beginning like I was. Prices, I think it's already $30 at Target, so this will keep going down, I think. So eventually you might even get it in the $20 range, which is a steal. But it's an interesting game. I've always been a fan of the music genre games. When Guitar Hero came out, I loved that game. Rock Band, I have it. I have Rock Band 2 as well. Very fun party game, great party experience. Getting friends over, all four of you playing in the band. There's not a lot of local multiplayer experiences nowadays that really compete to that. Everyone's going online, and Rock Band's the only one I can really think of that I've used extensively in the past couple of years here. That's kind of where DJ Hero, I was really hesitant to do it at first because it was like $100 when it came out, so that's pretty steep. And it's not as much of a multiplayer game as the other ones. It's really kind of a one-player experience. People can watch you play and listen to the music, but that's really about it. I got the controller here, and this is another, I don't say complaint, because it's a cool controller. It's well done. You kind of got your 3 buttons here like the guitar. You have to scratch like that and move it around. You have a little crossfade button here. But it's not as intuitive as like a guitar is. Like pretty much anyone can pick up a Guitar Hero guitar, and even if they aren't that good, they understand the general idea of what you're supposed to do. And even drums to a certain extent. People kind of get what drums are, they've seen it before. Singing, obviously, anyone can do. But the DJ thing is a little more, it's not as easy to just kind of pick up and just get it right away. It takes a little time to get used to. But that being said, once you do get used to it, it's fun, it's different, it's unique, it's something the genre really needed. And hopefully the second one can do, I might be able to pick that up down the road. But I'm enjoying the first one so far, pretty cool. Probably wouldn't have paid more than $30-40 for it, and I didn't. So keep an eye out if you're interested in that kind of thing. Pretty cool game. Next, at the same time I got DJ Hero, I also bought NCAA Football 11. I've been looking for a sports game. I didn't want to get Madden because I was kind of getting burnt out on that. I bought it every year, and every year it seemed like the same game with updated rosters. And I was thinking I might get like a hockey game or a soccer game just to switch it up. But in the end, I ended up going with NCAA just because I love football. I really do. And I haven't bought a college game in a while. And I was pleasantly surprised how good the graphics were in this game. They are definitely improved from the last time I played a college game, which was probably 2 years ago. The tackling and like catching animations all look really smooth, and the way the characters kind of like interact together, it looks a lot more realistic to me. But gameplay wise, it really does kind of feel like the same formula again, which is a little unfortunate. But it's got a lot of replay value to it for me. I love the campus legend mode where you like kind of create your player and do 4 years of school and playing and stuff like that. I love that mode. That's probably my favorite game mode. But yeah, it's if you like football, you're probably gonna get Madden or NCAA anyway. So I figured I'd switch it up, get that this year, and it's a cool game. I like it. And recently, I've been on a kick of trying to get games too that are really kind of narrative driven, because lately I'm kind of in the point where I'm almost burnt out from first person shooters. Between Call of Duty and Battlefield and Halo, I'm just like, I don't even want to go online, do anything like that. I want a good story, a game I can really dive into, something I can really enjoy the one-player experience, just because that's something I haven't had in a long time. And the last time I had that is when I rented Uncharted 2, right when it came out. I didn't want to buy it, I rented it, because I figured I wouldn't play multiplayer, I'd just play the one player. So I played through it, and it's honestly one of the best single-player games I've ever played. So I bought it. I went out, and it's $40 now at Target. It's where I got it. I don't know if it's dropped everywhere else. But this version might be a little harder to find now because the Game of the Year edition just came out, which is $60. So this might be kind of, yanked off the shelves in favor of Game of the Year. Now, Game of the Year has extras on it, sure. It's got multiplayer extras, a bunch of, like, PlayStation Home avatar kind of features and, like, themes and things like that. but I don't need any of that. I'm not going to play this online. I'm not too interested in the multiplayer of this game because, like I said, I can play Halo or Battlefield. You know, I got that covered. So I just wanted it for the single player experience, so I figured I'll pay the $40 for the original version. It's fantastic. This, honestly, if you have a PlayStation, please, you owe it to yourself to at least play this game, if not buy it. It is honestly graphically one of the best looking games I've ever seen. The voice acting is phenomenal. It feels like a movie, like a really well done movie. The music is unbelievable. I mean, everything about this game, the pacing and just the puzzle solving and the action is just so well done. I mean, it's as close to a perfect game as I can think. And honestly, the people praise this game up and down, and it's well-founded praise. Trust me, it is honestly one of the best games I have ever played. So, a must-add to the collection, really. I was going to get the original, but I've heard people say that after you play the second one, the original really doesn't hold a candle to it, so I figured, you know, whatever. I'll just buy the second one, because that's the one I want to play. I'm playing through it again. I'm right towards the end, so I probably only have a couple chapters left, and then I figure that'll be one game that I can, you know, beat. A couple months down the road I can play it again. It's just so good that you can, you know, play the story over and over and not get bored, because it's just done so well. So highly recommended, as you can tell. And the last game I picked up is another kind of narrative driven game that I've really wanted to try for the longest time, and for whatever reason I've held off. And finally, it got cut down in price at Best Buy, or Target, sorry, $15. So I jumped on it. I was just on a whim. I said, you know, whatever. That's BioShock. I know I'm really behind the ball on this one. This is like 2 years old, I think. But I played the demo right when it came out, and I loved it. I thought the way the storyline was set up, the kind of Art Deco style, you know, Gotham City look to it. Just the idea of it was just really, really cool. And but I held off on buying it, you know. It went down to like 30 or 20 bucks, and I thought about it then, but then I saw it for 15 this week, and I was like, what the heck, I'll get it. And I've played for a couple hours, 2.5, 3 hours, and it's really cool so far. Really fun game. Really, it controls really well. The environments are really cool. And it's a lot more like kind of scary than I would have expected, which is good for this time of year, you know, being Halloween. But there definitely are some creepy moments to it. So it's really kind of claustrophobic atmosphere, and it's pretty creepy. But you know, not. I mean, if you're scared of Resident Evil and stuff, you shouldn't have any problem playing this. It's not that scary, but it is a little, you know, more intense than I expected. But very, very fun game. It's overall really well done. And maybe after I beat this, I can try out the second one, though I've heard mixed reviews on that. But that's the games I've gotten recently. I got a couple video ideas planned out, maybe something for Halloween. We'll see how that works. But I figured I'd keep you guys updated on what I've been buying, what I've been playing. So that's really all I got for now. So stay tuned. NateGreat321 signing out.